I hear that your fiancé wants to get married to me now? Sorry that you had to get caught up between all of our love. But now you can see that you have no place by his side anymore and that it is reserved only for me, right? You really are the worst. This is all it's just unbelievable. Tomorrow we had plans to have our wedding with all our family and friends invited to it. Why would you do something like this? Don't you feel sorry for me, your longtime friend? No, I don't. And I was only able to do this because Alan no longer wants to get married to you anymore. I heard that he really thought of you as a good girlfriend this whole time and all, but wanted someone else to be his wife. Something about how you're not interesting enough to keep around forever. That's why in the end he's going to be with me over you, and I will become the one who shares his last name. This kind of timing, though. You guys had to have done more with one another before today, right? He and I did so much together, all in order to get this wedding put together. Why would he do that if he knew he never wanted to marry me? I'm sure he just chose this kind of timing in order to make it clear to you that he doesn't want you anymore. This was all his plan, after all. He told me he dreamed of doing something like this one day. What the heck? By the way, what part have you been playing in all of this? Are you saying that you just let me think that he was going to marry me when you knew something else was going on? I thought you were my friend this whole time. What? You're asking me what part I've been playing? Oh, don't make me laugh. I was having a blast watching you fall deeply in love with Alan without ever knowing his true intentions. I have been looking forward to this day for a while now. So this whole time that I've been dating Alan, working with Alan, making plans with Alan, you've stood by my side laughing at me behind my back? Yeah, that's absolutely right. You went and helped out Alan's job a lot. And because of that, he's now on track to making it big in this world. He has all kinds of accomplishments now, and soon he'll have all kinds of money flowing in for me to use. And when that company comes from his papa later on, oh boy, will I be able to do whatever the hell I want. Thank you so much for working your butt off like that in order to make our lives better. Now I'll finally be able to take my place as his wife and live freely with all his money. No frickin' way. Hey, tell me something. On those days that Alan was coming home late from work and would have to go on those short business trips, was he with you during those days? Were you both going out on dates and such and sleeping together? We sure are. You are 100% correct, actually. In order to meet with me, he'd set aside some time by lying to you about being at work still, or having to leave town for a bit. And while he was out having fun with me in a physical way, you'd still be working your butt off in order to push him ahead. You know, I said thank you to him for tricking you into doing all of that for us while he was still on me. You're such a sad soul. I see. So I've been getting played by the both of you this whole time then. Oh, don't worry about it, okay? You still have a place to sleep today and tomorrow, all right? For both days, in order to have a place to stay, we got you a VIP suite in this hotel. Consider that the very least we could do in order to say thanks to you. We got this massive room together for you where you can relax and think about what you'll do next with yourself. So please, go and forget all these terrible memories from today and have as much fun as a single loser like yourself can have there. What the actual heck? You're just talking about the room that he and I had planned on staying in after our wedding tomorrow. It's the same room I'm going to be heading to right now. Bingo! And now you can stay there all by yourself. He and I will be getting a different place to stay now, so you won't have to worry about us. Oh, and if you feel like it's too big for you to enjoy on your own, there's a bar downstairs where I'm sure you can pick up a desperate man. You are such a jerk, Mila.
Now that you've heard everything from her, I can say that I am making Mila my wife now. You can go ahead and forget about me now and go find a happy life of your own.
Alan, after all you'd done with me, this is the way you wanted to end things? By taking the hand of my best friend behind my back?
There was no other choice, all right? Mila happens to be both sexy and cute. When she came to me flirting, there was no way a man like myself could turn her away. You're pretty good-looking yourself, but I mean, you have no personality at all, and that sucks.
What? What do you mean by that?
Perhaps I should be saying you're too good of a kid? You do all your chores perfectly, and all of your cooking is the best. In bed, you're very quiet and reserved, but to a man, that is just boring. After being with you for a bit, I got tired of the same old from you. Understand?
So that's how you've always thought of me? But if that was the case, then why didn't you leave me sooner? Why would you choose now to show me your true feelings?
She was asking me to make this breakup leave lasting memories for you. So when you think about it that way, this was the best timing to leave you with some wild memories, right? That's why this worked out perfectly for both her and I. And when it comes to her, we've already met one another's family and are totally ready to get married. I know I made up some lies in order to not meet with your family at all, and this is the reason why, so there you go.
No way, Alan. How could you do something so...
Thinking of something like this is just like her, right? And now that you're aware of things, go ahead and enjoy that VIP suite all by yourself. Tomorrow, her and I will be taking over the wedding plans and having one of our own. Let's all have a freaking blast then!
For some reason, you were completely screwed in the head, Alan. I overlooked that, I guess. But now it doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm going to do as I please, just like you've asked me to. This dress that I have on for the wedding today looks so freaking good on my slim-waisted body. Originally, you would be the one wearing this dress today, right? Sorry for stealing your husband, who just so happens to be the son of a CEO, away from you the day before your wedding. His papa's going to be paying $300,000 for this wedding, so even a loser like you should come here and see it. I want you to see what an all-natural and sexy woman looks like in this dress. Oh, so you haven't had a look at the news yet? What? What was on the news? Does anything that was on there have to do with what I'm talking about now? Oh. Well, if you don't think anything on the news has to do with your wedding today, then so be it. Please, go ahead with that affluent wedding you've put together today. Huh? What's going on here? Are you going to be a sore loser about this now? Please, come out to the wedding today so you can view what a real woman looks like in this wedding dress. I've really enjoyed staying in this VIP suite you guys prepared for me and had a wonderful breakfast while thinking some things over. But I don't think I'm going to stay another night here, so I'm heading home. Once I have everything together, I'll give you a shout. What? So you're not coming to the wedding then? I know you're playing tough right now, but I can tell how much you've been crying. You poor thing. I'll make sure to send you the pictures from today's wedding later. Especially those of my perfect body in this little tight dress. Please look forward to them, okay? Sure I will. I'm really looking forward to hearing your sob story later on as well when the time comes. Did you know about all of this? What the hell is going on here? Answer your phone right now! Things aren't as bad as you probably think they are right now, so calm down. I don't have the ability to see the future myself, but I know that things aren't going to end with you dying or anything like that soon. And as for the company, I'm not really sure what's going to be happening with it now, after, you know. And you couldn't have expected me to know that the CEO was both embezzling and evading his taxes that whole time, right? That's the thing, though. You had to have known. What the hell is going to happen now because of that? I finally took a look at the news, like you said. There's been this massive scandal that just got uncovered at the company? Right. I was just as shocked as you are now when I saw that. When I was having breakfast this morning in the room, I saw that story come on the news and I lost my appetite. All I could think about was how this would play a major problem in your guys' marriage. Does this mean that $300,000 wedding you're supposed to have now just vanished? You're lying, right? We already had the wedding and are now preparing for the after party. I started to call Alan's papa about this to see what was going on, but he never answered me and his voicemail box is full. And right now, as I'm texting you, I can hear people murmuring about how something bad has happened. I'm so sorry for what you've been dragged into. Really sucks, doesn't it? You finally got your chance to marry the son of a very wealthy CEO, yet that company is close to falling apart, so there wasn't really any meaning to marrying him after all. But you're his wife now, right? Which means as his wife, you're going to have to be there to support both him and his parents. Good luck to the both of you as a newlywed couple. There is no way this can be happening. You knew all about this before today. Like I was saying, I can't see into the future. Therefore, I had no idea this was going to be happening today. How would I have known? You were the ones who wanted to get married, right? I was never a part of the plan in Alan's world, so it's up to you now to try and survive. Good luck!
Sarah, have you been doing all right? I just wanted to say, this has to do with what's been happening to us here. You know what I'm talking about, right? Right now I'm mentally destroyed by what's happened. To think that my father would be someone who'd do that.
Are you just wanting to text me now to talk about how you're feeling? I don't care about you at all, so...
Don't say something as heartless as that, Sarah. I've been thinking about you a lot now. I think that I need to get back together with you now. I want to get back together with you. I can finally see that I've needed you by my side this whole time.
Congratulations on that realization. But I realized I never needed someone like you by mine, so could you stop talking to me for the rest of time now? I don't like the fact that you're only coming back to me now after realizing your situation has gone crappy.
Don't say things like that. You had always been there to help me out, right?
And that was because back then I really believed that you had loved me and wanted to spend the rest of your life with me. But you ended up choosing Mila over me, right? Which means I no longer want anything to do with you now.
Stop holding that kind of a grudge against me. I'm telling you now that you're the one for me and always have been, right? Shouldn't you want to just come back and be at my side again? I honestly still do love you and want to make you my wife.
I really freaking hate idiots like you who think they can just change how they feel about people on the dot. I already found you a dang disgrace by going out with one of my best friends behind my back, but now this crap? Cut it out thinking that you mean anything to me right now at all.
It couldn't be helped though, right? She's such a sexy woman that it was hard to look away from her. It's not my fault that you're not very fun to be with, so how about you take some of the blame for it?
If that's how you thought of me, then you should have left me when you found her and never bothered with me again, right? Why did you think it was okay to cheat on me with her and get away with it?
Because you were always there to help out with my job in all kinds of ways. I would never have to say anything because you'd always have food ready for me right when I felt hungry, and you'd always have the bath ready for me when I came home. But when I had to start living with her, I realized that not all women can do the things you could. She's useless.
Well, that's how that girl always seemed to me. She hates doing things like chores and would always tell me about how she'd have others do them for her.
The only thing worthwhile about her is her looks and nothing else. She hasn't even tried coming around to help me with my work any.
I think most people don't want to help others with their work unless there is something in it for them.
Then why were you always helping me out with mine?
That's because as your lover, I wanted to see you succeed in life. I knew that you were already trying your best to achieve your goals and that you wanted to get to the top as fast as you could. That, Alan, made me want to help you and get you to live those dreams.
So you thought about my work and me that way? I'll do my best again, all right? I will never let you run away from me again. I'll put all my effort back into work and make it to the top like you wanted to see me do. So would you please come back to me?
I have no reason to accept that blood-covered invitation from you. I am over you now and will never be coming back. Also, the way you handled things was just screwed up. You went and came out about how you had been cheating on me with another woman, my friend, the day before our wedding. And you both sat there enjoying the pain that I was in, stating that it was all a part of her plan that you just went along with. I am not some weak woman who would want to go back to an abuser like you. What you did to me really opened my eyes to the kind of trash you both are. Being in that VIP suite helped me settle down and look forward towards my own future.
What the heck? Why won't you come back? You were so in love with me before and should be at my door right now.
That's because back then I trusted that you loved me as much as I loved you. But in reality, that couldn't have been farther from the truth. I never thought that the man I wanted to make my husband would be the kind of disgusting filth that puts his hands on his fiancé's friend behind her back and later tells her about it right before their big day.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for that now, so...
I don't need your empty apologies anymore. What I want is a settlement paid off by the both of you. You'll make sure to pay me every penny that I'm owed, right?
What? Wait, I can't pay you a settlement. Did you not hear about what happened from Mila? The wedding cost close to $300,000, and my father's company is going to collapse now after the news, if we both have to pay you a settlement after both of those things.
I didn't hear about any of that from her, but that's what I assumed was going to happen. But those two things have nothing to do with me and the settlements I'm asking for. I want you both to pay me for the damages you've caused. That's all I ask, and if it takes time for you to do so, then so be it.
You can't do that to us. Hold on a second. This is the whole reason why I want you to come back to me now. So please, don't talk about some settlement.
I have no plans of ever going back to you again. Now that you're 110% aware of that, or at least should be, don't ever come wanting to talk to me again. I'm getting myself a lawyer, and you'll have to talk with them before speaking to me. So when you have more you'd like to say, tell them and they'll relay that message to me. Please and thank you. Lila? What did you think you were doing, coming at me like that? You said you wanted to come and apologize to me in person for what you'd done. But when I came to see you, you made an attempt at pushing me down those stairs, yet ended up falling down them yourself instead. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't have any words left to say to you now after almost being harmed by you. Shut the hell up! Why did you come out unharmed? Why did this have to happen to me? You've always been horrible at things like sports, so that attempt you made on me was sad to watch. Don't you remember how I was always playing sports back in the day and have been very good at all of them? When you came at me trying to trip and send me down those stairs, all I had to do was step aside from your lethargic movements and watch you tumble. I didn't think it would happen so quickly, though. Must have been those huge-ass heels you were in that caused you to trip. And don't you feel bad for me now after that happened? I had to sit by and watch as the company Alan should be taking over soon falls apart. And as his papa, who has all that money, gets taken to court case after court case paying off all those fines he received. And we've been told to pay off that whole $300,000 wedding by ourselves. We're already having to go through all of this torture, yet you're coming in now asking us to pay you some settlements? Who the hell do you think you are? I have the right to those settlements. Think about what you and Alan did to me. You both were having an affair behind my back, and the day before our wedding, you guys came out about the fact that you were stealing him from me. Right? You then started talking crap about me, thinking you'd won, and even took that rental dress I had and wore it in the wedding. I like to think the reason you're going through hell right now is because of that god-awful behavior of yours. Yet now you're crying about the fact that I'm asking for settlement money from the both of you? And were willing to try and kill me at those stairs because of it? If anything, I should be the one pushing you down a flight of stairs for having stolen your best friend's fiancé. I had no other choice, all right? He was the one that chose me. He just chose to have me and toss you aside is all. Not my fault that you weren't good enough to keep him around. By the way, you are aware, right? Alan realized that he should have me by his side and has been begging me to come back to him, right? What? What do you mean by that? Oh, so then you haven't been aware of this then. I feel so bad for you now, but this has been the kind of man Alan's always been. I'm sure you'll be in a lot more trouble, though, because of him, since you both only just got married to one another. Wait a sec, what are you talking about? Are you being serious right now? Well, of course I'm being serious about this. I wouldn't be lying to you about him now when neither of you mean anything to me besides your money. That asshole! Is he really stabbing me in the back now? I mean, that's the kind of man you were wanting him to be, right? He did just what you wanted and completely threw his fiancée away just to have himself a new woman that he could marry. And the fruits of that labor are this. All he really is a man with a bit of family money and a company he was supposed to be getting. He knew that himself, so when a woman better looking than me came along that flirted with him, he had no control over his feelings that told him to jump to you. And that made him forget just how ugly he really is and why this all hurts much more for him now. No way. So then, he was never into me because he really loved me? He's the kind of spineless man that gets all worked up over any woman that shows him some attention. And when he noticed that you had such a good face and body, he saw himself as lucky. But when it comes to something like marriage, you both are definitely not meant for one another. Because he is just as selfish as you are. What? What are you trying to say here? He likes someone who will flirt and praise him all the time, cook for him all the time, do the chores for him all the time, and do his work for him all the time. He wants someone that will do all of those things for him while looking good. But with you being just as selfish as him, that was never going to work out. Even I could never be selfless enough to work with him, though, when married, and I've now learned that. The only reason I was able to do everything for him while dating is because I loved him. However, you don't have the same strength that I do. I can't do things like housework for him, and I don't want him bringing things like work home with him. Normally, he's not that great of an employee, but when he had me around, I was able to get him to focus on his work and succeed. But how are things now with him now that I'm gone? He's not doing so well at that company anymore, right? That's right. So everything he'd achieved was all because of you? In other words, the man that I fell in love with was the man you had made? And when you vanished from underneath him, the man I loved became no more. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sure your attempt on my life was you trying to threaten me into not asking for a settlement from you guys, but now it's only going to muddy your path even further. There were witnesses to what you did, and you can be labeled as a criminal now. Which means I'm definitely not going to take back any settlements. I have the police on the way right now, so be ready for that fun mess. Wait! Don't tell me you've actually called the police on me. That would be insane of you to do that to your friend. It was just a small threat is all. Hey, can we please talk about this in person one more time? You're not going to get me to stop asking for this settlement from you, Mila. And when I came to talk with you about it today, you tried to push me down those stairs, right? Now there is no chance of me forgiving either one of you for what you've done. I'm going to send you both down to the gates of hell, where you can sit and wait for whatever horrible fate awaits you. From there, I made sure to have the police come and get Mila, and from there, she was taken away in an ambulance to the hospital for treatment. I talked with the police for a little bit and told them my story, along with the few witnesses that saw what happened, before going home to my parents' house to relax and forget about everything. On her way to the hospital, Mila called Alan while in the ambulance, handcuffed to the stretcher, asking him if it was true that he wanted me back and thought of her as useless, and when he told her the truth, she broke down in tears. She became so upset before getting to the hospital that she wouldn't stop thrashing around on her stretcher, and one of the EMTs had to give her a sedative to calm her down a bit. After being treated at the hospital for injuries ranging from a broken ankle to a couple of broken ribs, Mila was then taken into custody by the police and taken to the police station for questioning. There they learned of her true intentions for trying to push me down those stairs and would have her stay in the county jail overnight as she couldn't really do much with the pain she was in anyway. The next day, she was charged with attempted murder and assault and would be sentenced to 5 years in prison, as well as 5 more years of parole. When it comes to what happened with Alan, he came to me on his hands and knees, begging for me to go back to him. He also came with the money I had asked for in the settlement and paid it off right then and there. He then went and brought up the fact that his wife was no longer around anymore, having been taken away, and needed someone to come home with him and care for his needs. But of course I wasn't going to ever be doing that, and I told him I was cutting ties, and that he should never come looking for me again unless he wanted to end up like Mila. He would continue to bug me for a few more days over text, and when I had finally had enough enjoyment reading all of his sob stories, I blocked him and deleted his contact info. I want for the both of those bastards to learn what all they did wrong here, and have to regret everything they've done while living in suffering for the rest of their lives. Seriously, I do not care about what happens to either of those two and will never be thinking about them again.